Letter N, the available balance method. And I've got the acronym UDAP up on the screen here. And so there's quite a bit going on here that we're gonna unpackage with this. So it first talks about this clear and conspicuous disclosure. That's the idea here, is that have you communicated this clearly to your consumers? I know there's a lot of banks out there that use the available balance method to do overdrafts. And while that's not wrong to use the available balance method, I'm not saying go change. But if you haven't communicated to your customer the effect or how the available balance method works, they can't make an informed decision. Now, why? Let's take a closer look. Okay, let's start with the ledger balance. Okay, the ledger balance is the other alternative here to the available balance. And so if you're a bank that says we use the ledger balance to do overdrafts, what it means is that you are using a balance in the account that is settled. It does not include any authorized or pending transactions, debit holds, credits, okay, things like that. All of those are outside. And so if I run my card today to hold a hotel room, it's not reflected in the ledger balance. And so it's what's actually in my account. Doesn't care about pre-authorized gas purchases or restaurant purchases or anything like that. If you're a ledger balance bank, there's less risk in this area because it doesn't take into account all those other outstanding things. However, if you're an available balance bank, things get trickier because not only does it account for what's settled actually in the account, it also takes into account that hotel reservation I made last week, okay, that's just sitting out there. It also takes into account that deposit I had to put down on the hotel room, the pre-authorized gas purchase, the pre-authorized restaurant purchase that hasn't settled yet. And so that can, a couple different things can be a problem with that. Number one, in this page, is that if you haven't communicated how that works to your consumer, how can they handle their business? Because they're looking their actual account balance, but the pending item's not there. Yet you're accounting for the pending item when you do overdrafts, but not in their balance in their account. And so that makes things tricky sometimes. And that's where this whole unfair, deceptive, or abusive act or practice comes into play. The thing to pay attention to here, very bottom of page 15 in the paragraph there. Examiners observe potentially unfair or deceptive acts or practices when institutions did not adequately describe how the available balance method works in connection with overdrafts. Many terms and conditions, account agreements, have been silent for years on this. They may say that you use the available balance method, but they don't put it into context. There's been a big push in the last year for forms vendors to have better information here, and it's happened. Make sure that if there's a more updated terms and conditions for your accounts, that you're using it, because it likely has been updated in this area for the reasons listed on the bottom of this page.